You know, there comes a time for all of us when certain decisions start to feel a little heavier than they used to. Maybe you've noticed it takes longer to check your blind spot, or those night drives aren't as easy as they once were. Or perhaps someone close to you, a family member, a friend, has gently brought up the idea that maybe it's time to think about hanging up the keys. And if you're like a lot of folks I've talked to, that thought can bring up a mix of emotions. On one hand, there's relief. No more worrying about traffic or parking. But on the other, it's easy to feel like you're losing a piece of your independence, your freedom to come and go as you please. Well, here's the good news. Giving up driving doesn't mean giving up your ability to stay connected, active, and in control of your life. In fact, today, we're going to talk about 3 wonderful alternatives to keep you moving confidently through your community. Options that are safe, reliable, and might even add a little more joy to your day. Because staying mobile isn't just about getting from point A to point B. It's about living fully, staying engaged with the people and places you love, and embracing this chapter of life with curiosity and ease. Let's start with an option that's been around for a while, but has gotten a whole lot better in recent years. Public transportation. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Buses? Trains? Isn't that for younger folks? But hear me out. Many cities and towns have really stepped up their game when it comes to accessibility and senior-friendly services. Take my friend Margaret, for example. She's 78, lives in a mid-sized town, and gave up driving a few years back. At first, she worried she'd be stuck at home, until she discovered her local bus system offers free senior passes, priority seating, and even drivers who'll lower the bus ramp if you need a little extra help stepping on. Now, she takes the bus twice a week to her book club, the library, and even her doctor's appointments. She says it's become her mini adventure. She gets to people watch, chat with neighbors, and never has to stress about parking. If you're curious about public transit in your area, start small. Call your local transit authority. They'll often mail you a schedule or walk you through the routes. Many even offer travel training programs to help you feel comfortable. And don't forget about paratransit services if you need door-to-door assistance. It might feel unfamiliar at first, but give it a try. You might be surprised how liberating it feels to let someone else take the wheel. Now, if buses aren't your style, or you live somewhere they don't run frequently, let's talk about another game changer. Ride-sharing services like Uber or Lyft. I know. Technology can feel intimidating. But stick with me. These apps aren't just for teenagers or business travelers. They're designed to be simple, and once you get the hang of it, they're like having a personal driver in your pocket. Picture this. You need to get to a hair appointment across town. Instead of asking a family member for a ride or waiting for a taxi, you open the app, tap a few buttons, and a car arrives at your door in minutes. You can even choose drivers with high ratings for safety and friendliness. Take John, a 72-year-old from Florida I spoke to last year. He was hesitant at first, worried about costs, safety, and all those buttons on the phone. But his granddaughter showed him how to save his home address and favorite destinations in the app. Now, he uses Uber twice a week for grocery runs and his weekly poker game. He jokes that his driver, Maria, knows more about his grandkids than most of his friends. And here's a tip. Many communities offer discounted rideshare programs for seniors. A quick call to your local senior center or area agency on aging can point you in the right direction. The key here is to not let the tech scare you off. Ask a family member, neighbor, or even a tech-savvy grandkid to walk you through it once or twice. Most apps have large buttons, clear maps, and even voice commands. And remember, everyone's learning curve is different, Give yourself grace, and soon enough, it'll feel as natural as dialing a phone number. So far, we've covered how public transportation and ride-sharing can keep you moving without the stress of driving. But what if you're looking for something that feels a bit more personal? A way to stay connected to your community while also getting the help you need? Well, that's where our third alternative comes in. And trust me, it's one you won't want to miss. You're right. Sometimes, what we're really missing when we think about giving up driving isn't just the car itself. It's that sense of connection, the comfort of knowing someone's got your back. That's why our third alternative is all about tapping into the power of community. Now, I'm not just talking about waving to neighbors from the porch. Across the country, there are incredible programs and networks designed specifically to help seniors stay mobile, social, and supported. Let me tell you about Helen, a spirited 81-year-old from Ohio. After she stopped driving, her local senior center connected her with a volunteer driver program run by a nearby church. Every Tuesday and Thursday, a sweet retired teacher named Carol picks Helen up for her water aerobics class and grocery shopping. But here's the best part. Carol doesn't just drive her. They've become friends, sharing stories, swapping recipes, even stopping for coffee sometimes on the way home. Helen says it's like having a sister again. These community-based options come in all shapes and sizes. Maybe your town has a senior shuttle that runs fixed routes to shopping centers, medical offices, and community events. Or perhaps there's a friendly rides program where volunteers take you to appointments or social gatherings. Some neighborhoods even organize driving cooperatives, where members take turns giving each other lifts. The beauty of these programs is that they're built on relationships. You're not just a passenger. You're part of a network that values your presence. To find these gems, start by reaching out to places you already know and trust. Your local senior center, place of worship, or even the public library can be treasure troves of information. Don't be shy about asking. These organizations want to help. A simple phone call saying, "I'm looking for transportation options that fit my schedule," can open doors you didn't even know existed. And if you're tech-savvy, websites like Elder Care Locator can match you with services in your area. Now, you might be thinking, but what about those days when I need to go somewhere spur of the moment? Or, what if I don't want to rely on others? That's where mixing and matching these options comes in handy. Let's say you use the senior shuttle for your weekly card game, Uber for quick trips to the pharmacy, and a volunteer driver for your monthly lunch with old friends. Having a toolbox of choices gives you flexibility and peace of mind. And here's something I don't want you to forget. Staying mobile isn't just about your needs. It's about the ripple effect it creates. When you show up to that family reunion, that gardening club meeting, that grandkids' piano recital, you're giving others the gift of your presence. You're staying visible, engaged, and woven into the fabric of your community. That's powerful. Of course, change is never easy. Maybe the idea of asking for help feels uncomfortable, or you worry about being a burden. Let me reassure you, the people offering these services, whether it's a volunteer driver or a rideshare professional, want to be there. They've chosen this work because they care. And remember, you've spent decades supporting others. Now it's your turn to let someone return the favor. So, whether it's striking up a conversation with a friendly bus driver, laughing over coffee with a volunteer like Carol, or mastering that rideshare app with your granddaughter's help, each small step you take is a victory. It's a declaration that life keeps moving forward, and so do you. And as we wrap up today, I want to leave you with this thought. Letting go of the keys isn't an ending. It's an invitation to discover new ways of moving through the world. ways that might just surprise you with their warmth, convenience, and joy. You know, sometimes the bravest thing we can do is admit when it's time to try something new. And if there's one thing I hope you take away from our time together today, it's this. Letting go of the driver's seat doesn't mean letting go of your freedom. In fact, it might just open up a world of possibilities you hadn't considered before. Think about Margaret, who found adventure on the bus, or John, who turned a rideshare app into a chance to bond with his granddaughter, or Helen, who discovered friendship in the passenger seat of Carol's car. These aren't stories about loss. They're stories about reinvention. So let's take a moment to tie it all together. We've talked about how public transportation isn't just a way to get around. It's a chance to slow down, observe the world, and connect with your community in unexpected ways. We've explored ride-sharing, where a little patience with technology can turn your phone into a magic wand that summons convenience right to your doorstep. And we've celebrated the beauty of community networks, where helping hands and warm hearts remind us that we're never truly alone in this next chapter of life. But here's the secret sauce. You don't have to choose just one of these options. Mix them, match them, make them work for your rhythm. Maybe Tuesday is for the senior shuttle to your gardening club. Thursday is a quick Uber to your doctor's office. And Saturday is a volunteer-driven trip to your grandson's soccer game. The goal isn't to replace driving. It's to reclaim your time, your safety, and your peace of mind. Now, I won't pretend there won't be days when you miss the independence of hopping in the car whenever you please. Change is always bittersweet. But here's what I've seen time and again with folks who've made this transition. They often end up feeling more connected, not less. Less stressed about weather or traffic, more present in the moments that matter. One gentleman told me, "I thought I'd feel old when I stopped driving. Instead, I feel like I've joined a whole new club, one where people smile at me, ask about my day, and sometimes even carry my groceries." If you're feeling hesitant, start small. Pick one errand this week to try a new transportation method. Bring a friend along if it helps. Celebrate each victory, whether it's mastering a bus schedule or sharing a laugh with a driver. And if it doesn't go perfectly, that's okay. Every stumble is just part of the journey. Before we say goodbye, I'd love to hear your stories. Have you tried any of these alternatives? Maybe you've got a tip we didn't cover, or a heartwarming experience with a driver who became a friend. Drop a comment below. Your wisdom could be the nudge someone else needs to take that first step. And if this video resonated with you, do me a favor. Hit that like button and share it with a friend who might be wrestling with this decision. Subscribe to the channel too. We've got plenty more conversations like this one, all designed to help you thrive in this vibrant season of life. Remember, age isn't about closing doors. It's about discovering new paths, ones you might never have noticed while you were busy watching the road. So here's to your next adventure, wherever it takes you. Keep moving, keep exploring, and above all, keep embracing the joy of the ride. Thanks for letting me be part of your journey today. Until next time, take good care and keep shining.